I remember being in 6th grade and watching these Hollywood movies or cartoons where the happy ending is whenever, you know, the poor little schlub ends up with the princess and they just end up happily ever after and walk away into the sunset and everything is good after that. There's kind of this indefinite hint at satisfaction and euphoria, and apparently I'm not the only person who thinks this way. The dating website and app industry is several $billion a year. I think this last year they raked in almost $2 billion for people trying to find connection and intimacy online. What I didn't know in 6th grade and then throughout most of my life thereafter was that these Hollywood movies, these cartoons, every single thing you put in your brain programs you. I was reprogramming my brain by absorbing all of these movies and films that just point to this one thing, this one romantic relationship in your life that once you find it, you'll be happy. I don't know how many times I've walked into a coffee shop and, you know, looked around for any pretty girls, or even like go on an airplane and sit down, or a bus and wait for, you know, just the right person to come and sit right next to you, and it just so happens that you're seated next to each other, and you know, that's the meet cute, and after that, you know, you start these little flirtatious conversations, and then you slowly fall in love, but then you fight, and there's a little bit of a conflict there, but then you move past it, and after that, you know, you're happily ever after. That's the plot of all of these movies, and we expect our lives to look the same way as all these Hollywood movies. I've been reading this book lately by James K.A. Smith called You Are What You Love, and he says that at the core of every action a human does, there's desire. We operate out of our desires. So if our desires are being programmed by the things we put inside our brain, then that means that our desires can't always be trusted. In other words, if we're constantly believing this myth that this one relationship will make us happy, then our desires are going to mislead us. Because how many people do you know who are married and still aren't completely satisfied or happy? As a single person myself, I have this idea in my head that once I achieve marriage, once I reach that glorious plateau, my life will be, you know, satisfied. It'll be easy from there on out, and everything that comes after will just be in addition to the, you know, cinematic score. A friend told me one time that if you're not happy as a single person, you're not going to be happy as a married person. And it makes sense, doesn't it? If we don't look to marriage as this gigantic entity that will sustain us and satisfy us once and for all, then it's just kind of another part of life. Obviously it's a change in your life and there's a big difference there, and obviously I am incredibly excited for when I meet the right girl and settle down and get married, but I have to keep reminding myself constantly that that one thing is not going to satisfy me. There's nowhere in the Bible where it says when you meet the right girl and marry her, you'll be satisfied. I mean, David had, what, like 300 wives and concubines, and he wasn't completely satisfied. He still needed just one more. The Bathsheba he saw bathing on the roof, he just needed one more to be happy. So what I've decided is, I don't want to wait until I'm married anymore to be happy. I'm gonna start right now. It's something I should have done a long time ago if Hollywood hadn't programmed me to think this way, but I'm gonna try to reorient my brain in such a way that I'm not looking forward to marriage as the be-all end-all source of happiness. You know, that once I get there, I'll be good once and for all. I'm gonna start enjoying my life right now, which I have been to some degree, but you know, there's always this wiggle room where you're like, if I just had this, I'd be happy. If I just had that, I'd be happy. No, I want you guys to join me, any of you single people, just being happy as you are, not waiting until you're married or until your wedding day to just experience this blissful eudaimonia that can only be achieved if you're married. It's not realistic, and it's not biblical, and it's just a waste of time. So I'm going to stop waiting till I'm married to be happy and enjoy my life right now. So I hope you guys will join me in saying I'm done being programmed by media and pictures online and movies I watch and TV shows that just tell me that marriage is the source of satisfaction. I hope you'll join me in just rejecting that and saying, no, I can be satisfied now with my friends, my job, my relationship with the Lord, the things I have with me now, instead of looking forward to this distant future perfection. In one sense, that's a form of idolatry, and we just need to leave that behind and forget about it. Because marriage will be great. I know it will be. But it's also not where I am right now. So I'm going to be okay with that and move on. And I hope you guys will too. Thank you so much for watching.